Hello everyone and welcome back to another Figurehead Reviews video, and today we're actually taking a look at something a little different for the first time, doing a Transformers review. We have here the vintage Transformer Starscream from the Walmart vintage wave that recently came out. So we have some awesome looking stuff here. We get some very cool original looking vintage packaging. Decepticon Air Commander Starscream, and then we got Starscream in the window box here with some artwork. This is the only reason I picked him up. I'm not a big Transformers collector. I do have a few left over from when I was a kid, but for $10, I could not pass this up just to have a G1 Starscream, because I actually don't have a G1 Starscream. But we get some really cool stuff here, so we can see the transformation instructions on the top there. On the side, we get a picture of him in both robot mode and his jet mode. On this side, it's the same. And then on the back, we get an awesome looking shot of just that old school G1 artwork there. So that is really cool. And then we have the full read up here, if we can get on that. That's a lot to read, so I'm going to let you read that if you want to. Go ahead and pause it. But you get some stats and things like that, and just very, very cool. There's the UPC code if you want to check Walmart to see if they have this in stock. But that is just too cool. This artwork. Oh, we got another read up there at the top. Man, that is just awesome. Soundwave. You got Optimus, of course. Very, very cool. But enough about that. Let's go ahead and get this open and take a look at Starscream. And here is Starscream out of the packaging in jet mode or vehicle mode. And I haven't put any of the stickers on him yet. But man, this is so cool. It's definitely a throwback. You do get the sticker sheet with him so that you can get them all decked out. And then, of course, you get the instructions on how to do the transformation, where to put the stickers on them. And actually, the transformation starts on that side. So very, very cool. We get some just vintage stuff that is awesome. The most notable vintage thing is that classic, what is he, a Decepticon or an Autobot? And you hold your thumb down on there for a minute to get the heat going, and then we can see the Decepticon logo. Let's do that again. There it is. Very, very cool. Awesome. But I'm going to go ahead real quick. I'm going to follow the instructions. We'll get the stickers put on it, and then we're going to get them from vehicle mode into robot mode. Okay, so we have all of our stickers put onto Starscream here, so we can see we got the Decepticon logos up. We got all those stickers there, and then there's a bunch on the underside, which we'll take a look at here once we get them in robot mode. But taking a look at the instructions here, we can see exactly how it wants us to start and finish going into robot mode. So let's go ahead and take a look. We can see starting with step 1 is remove the wings. So we're going to take those off. Step 2 has us popping the arms out here. So from underneath right here, we're just going to kind of pop this out a little bit. You can see there's those little teeth that are going to grab. But once we do that, we can see that these guys are going to come right out. No problem there. And then step 3 has us, we're going to take that off first. You're going to slide the nose piece down, and then we're going to bring that around. You're going to take that nose through the opening there. Oh, hold on, I think it's this way. Nope. I've never actually transformed this one. There we go. Get it to where that nose piece will go through there. And then you got the canopy there, and then you're going to rotate it back around, and we can see Starscream's head appears there, and you just tip the nose back, and there we go. And once we do that, you can fold his feet down, and we got the stickers there. You saw I already turned these to the side, so that. And then we're going to take the part where the wings were, and you're going to rotate those backwards. So that way the wings are on that. And actually I should mention these are supposed to come off as well. There we go. And instead of actually putting the wings on the way they were, they have you put them on with the Decepticon logo on the outside. So they're actually the opposite direction from what they were. So that way you have that logo showing, which is pretty cool. And then from there, I believe, well, we skipped a step. I already rotated those down, so that's not a big deal. Yeah, it looks like just the hands. So we got the hands that come with it, and we're going to go ahead and pop one hand on there and the other right there. Very cool. And the promotional artwork actually has one with this sticking up that way and one coming down in that direction so that he can fire on you there. And exclusive to this particular figure, this did not come with an original Starscream, we get Megatron in robot mode, or I'm sorry, in weapon mode here. And I sat here and I was like, man, how does this go in there? I couldn't figure it out. And I couldn't actually find, because there's nothing in the instructions about this gun. So it's interesting. It just shows it in the hand. So what you have to do is actually pull it apart, and you can see you got a peg there and an opening there, and you'll notice that both hands have a peg on the bottom. So what you actually do is you take that first peg and you port it in to there, and then you take the bottom piece and you port it down there, and then when you have those two combined, he's actually now holding Megatron, which is very cool. I think it looks a little silly, to be completely honest with you. I think it looks better without the bottom piece. Looks like he's still holding Megatron. Granted, you don't get the really cool stock there, but I think it just looks better without that really extended grip coming down. So, but yeah, so that is robot mode. Very, very cool. I did notice in all the promotional artwork, jet mode was supposed to use these missiles, but the pictures show these missiles having gone all the way up to here, but looking at it, like, it literally won't fit. They stick out just as far, and I think they look really silly. So I'm not really sure what the purpose of this. I mean, if you look on here, you can see in jet mode, it has the shorter missiles. Yeah, but whatever. And then, of course, to take them back, you just simply do the reverse there of what you did to get him back into jet mode. While he's in this mode, to take a look at some of the articulation, there's not much. The arms, of course, can go back because they have that hinge from where they tucked in. So you do get some movement there. They can, of course, go up and down, and that's basically it. These G1 Transformers didn't really have a lot of articulation. This is an 80s toy, so there's not a lot going on. You do get the action feature with the missile there, so launch. There we go, and this one as well. So you do get some cool action features. But we'll go ahead real quick now, just get a close-up look. There's not a whole lot of details to look at, but let's just get a close-up mostly on Starscream's face. I want to check that out. So as I mentioned, there's not a whole lot to see when we get the close-ups, but I really wanted to get up close on this paint job and this sculpt, and that is actually pretty cool looking. They managed to get a lot of detail into that, and to give you an idea, I mean, that's my fingers, so very small head, but it's really cool. I mean, we can get right up there and see the look there, the paint on the eyes. That's pretty cool. Looking at the rest of the figure, just while we're at it, so pretty cool looking. Again, not a lot of details per se, but you get that old die-cast material, so you do have actual die-cast pieces mixed in with the plastic, and there's literally screws holding it in. This is before the days of everything being glued together, so I think that is really, really cool that they stayed faithful to that vintage design, and yeah, I think that is just awesome. While we're at it here, let's take a look too at this Megatron pistol. Just really, really neat looking, and I haven't quite figured out what this part is for. It's not listed in the instructions anywhere there either, and obviously it would look sort of silly. Yeah, it's not going to port on the bottom there. I'm not sure where that goes. I'll have to take a look around, maybe see what other people have posted, but very cool. And if we get up nice and close here, if we can get the camera to focus in, there we go. pretty clean looking Decepticon logo there stamped on the side, so that is pretty neat. And the paint is, actually, that might not even be paint. For all I know, that's molded in that color. Hard to tell. And what about the other side? We got another Decepticon logo. How'd that one come out? Also quite clean. Yeah, very cool. Very, very cool. I like it. The scope looks good. Barrel looks cool. Yeah, that is really cool. It's a little too big to go with any like Marvel Legends or anything like that. But still, a very neat addition that they didn't have to add to this vintage line. And for a quick comparison, here is Starscream next to the only other G1 Transformer that I have that's not in my mother's basement in storage. We got the original G1 Optimus Prime that has been heavily played with. Missing his hands, you can see most of the chrome has come off, missing the rubber there, really faded and yellowish windshield there. Yeah, this toy, this is an original. I mean, I got this toy like many children of the 80s. As a matter of fact, I might not even have gotten this. This one might have been my brother's. But yeah, you can see the scale is in line with how they were. I mean, this is an actual replica of a G1 Transformer, so it's no surprise that it fits with the original line. And that's going to do it for this review, everyone. So all in all, I think that is really cool that Hasbro is putting out these old G1 reissues. You can get Hot Rod, as well as I believe it's the Constructicons, and I feel like there was one more, but that might have been it. But either way, I think that is a cool thing that they're doing for someone like myself who I had a lot of the Transformers, but certainly I did not have them all. I think it's just a neat thing, and Hasbro is definitely catching on that they have a very adult fan base for some of these old lines, and we're seeing so many of these vintage figures coming back out. I think that is really cool. We've got the vintage Transformers now, along with the vintage Marvel Legends. You got the vintage Star Wars. So very, very cool to be seeing all this vintage stuff. But that is it. Don't expect too many more Transformer reviews. I'm not getting this whole line. As I said, I like Transformers. I grew up with Transformers, but unfortunately Transformers just aren't a collection that, quite honestly, I have the money for to continue doing it. But I still wanted to do this because, like I said, it was really cheap. I found them, like I said, on clearance for 10 bucks. So I couldn't pass up that opportunity to get a G1 Transformer. So that's why I had to get them. With that being said, make sure to leave a comment down below if you like this video. Hit that like button. Aside from that, make sure to subscribe for more content just like this. Other than that, thanks for stopping by and have a great day.